Chancellor is on the brink of a Bitcoin bailout. That's right. The UK is about to sell $7 billion in seized Bitcoin to plug a fiat fiscal gap. Bold strategy, Cotton. I guess if you can't beat poverty, why not join it? Have fun staying poor. They didn't get the memo. Orange is the new green. That's why Trump's media company just dropped $2 billion into Bitcoin. And Trump's Treasury Secretary, he just went on national TV and said we need to examine the entire Federal Reserve. Not their policy, not a few interest rate calls, the institution itself. This isn't just another bull market. This is the beginning of the end for fiat. Welcome back, I'm Rustin, and the bullishness of today's show cannot be understated. Sunday. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started with what might be the biggest monetary red pill of our lifetimes. This monetary red pill leads to the orange pill. Boom! Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just went on CNBC and didn't pull punches. He said, and I quote, "What we need to do is examine the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether they have been successful."
Joe, I think that what we need to do is examine the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether they have been successful. I'm speaking, actually, I'm going to be in the building this evening. There is a regulatory conference that begins tomorrow. I'm the keynote speaker tonight talking about regulation. The Fed as well deals with monetary policy, regulations, financial stability. And again, I think that we should think, has the organization succeeded in its mission? You know, if this were the FAA and we were having this many mistakes, we would go back and look at why has this happened? I mean, look at as you said at the top of the at the top of this broadcast, there was fear mongering over tariffs, and thus far we have seen very little, if any, inflation. We've had great inflation numbers. So, I think this idea of them not being able to break out of a certain mindset, all these PhDs over there, I don't know what they do. This is like universal basic income for, academic economists.
You know how wild that is? That's not a Bitcoin maxi. That's Soros's former CIO. Now serving under Trump, calling the Fed a failed bureaucracy, handing out universal basic income to economists. This isn't just commentary, it's narrative warfare. The Trump and Bessent combo is putting the entire Fed on trial in the court of public opinion.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after?
They are laying the groundwork to flip the system, and at the center of that flip is Bitcoin. We've got confirmation. Trump media now holds $2 billion in Bitcoin and Bitcoin-linked securities. That's more than half their entire war chest. It's like nearly 70%. While Biden was out there trying to regulate meme coins, Trump is turning his media empire into a Bitcoin treasury. And just days after the buy, the Orange Man reposted the most legendary Bitcoin testimony ever. That's not a coincidence. That's a signal.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the world's first cryptocurrency, and it works because of the world's first public blockchain network. What does Bitcoin do? It's simple. It lets you send and receive value to and from anyone in the world using nothing more than a computer and an internet connection. Now, why is it revolutionary? Because unlike every other tool for sending money over the internet, it works without the need to trust a middleman. The lack of any corporation in between means that Bitcoin is the world's first public digital payments infrastructure. And by public, I simply mean available to all and not owned by any single entity.
This isn't a joke anymore. The president is stacking sats like a nation state. Meanwhile, across the pond, the UK is panicking. Chancellor Rachel Reeves is about to sell 61,000 Bitcoin, worth over $7 billion, just to plug a budget hole. This isn't profit-taking, this is fiat triage. Here's the problem. The government has a 20 billion fiscal hole and they think Bitcoin is the Band-Aid. This will be your legacy. You'll be the chancellor who sold Bitcoin. You don't sell the hardest money on earth unless you're desperate. Oh, and would you look who's leading the NASDAQ 100?
Taking a look right now, the S&P 500 pre-market leaders and laggers. We're going to start with the leaders first. You see strategy right here at the top of the list. These are NASDAQ. I want to correct myself. Right at the top of the list as we see Bitcoin get very close to 120,000, just trading below that. Tesla reporting its earnings later this week, as we mentioned, up about 1.5%. Take two, Roper and Intel running out the best performers. Then the NASDAQ 100 laggards as well. Taking a look at some of those names, you see Amgen, Biogen, two pharma names up here at the top of the list, perhaps trading lower on some trade uncertainty between the EU and the U.S. AppLovin, ASML, and Honeywell running out your worst performers in the pre-market. We're also checking ETFs that track EU.
And of course, GigaChad just bought more. I need not remind you how bullish he is. But he's not alone. According to Bitwise, 46 new companies bought Bitcoin in Q2. Public corporations now hold 847,000 BTC, and that's 4% of the total supply. If it's not clear, Bitcoin is becoming collateral, infrastructure, a macro hedge. And what is happening it goes well beyond a post-halving rally. This is a monetary realignment. Tim Draper is calling it. The fiat world is dying. Not in theory, in real time. We're about to bring it home today, but before we do, look at our likes.
3 or 4 times, maybe. I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp while we take a moment to recognize our sponsors powering this show over at the Bitcoin Way. At the Bitcoin Way, they'll walk you through all things Bitcoin like it's kindergarten with Satoshi, from setting up your first wallet to running a node and so much more. No tech skills are needed. The Bitcoin Way has got you covered. If you want $1 million Bitcoin, you have to act like it. Self-custody is not optional. That is the revolution. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with the Bitcoin Way using that link in the show notes. My friends, are you sick of being surrounded by fiat normies? Well, our friends over at the Orange Pill app have got you covered. Connect with over 16,000 other Bitcoiners in real life. Bitcoin is better with friends, and now you can zap them instantly all in one app. What are you waiting for? Download the Orange Pill app today. Go hit a meetup and start stacking friends who stack sats today. Big finish time. In a world where 0.01 Bitcoin could buy you freedom, where even the president is stacking corn like a madman, where the Fed is on defense and fiat is on life support, one question remains. Are you ready?
Over the last 7 years, a dollar has bought, I guess 7 years ago, it bought about 14,000 Satoshis. And today it buys about 800 Satoshis. Each year, the dollar, sure, it loses 5 or 10% to inflation, but against Bitcoin, it's losing about 50%. People are going to start recognizing that. They're going to say, well, wait a second. Why am I holding this currency that drops 50% a year against Bitcoin when I could be holding Bitcoin? And so retailers are going to start seeing that, and they're going to say, I accept Bitcoin. You know, after the retailers start getting more and more people paying Bitcoin, they're going to say, we only take Bitcoin. At that point, if retailers only take Bitcoin, then people are going to run to the banks and say, I need my dollars out because I need to buy my food, clothing, and shelter, and all my retailers only are taking Bitcoin. So I think that's a process that could happen. I mean, we're definitely moving in that direction. And right now, people aren't really spending their Bitcoin because they know it's just going up against the dollar. But I think retailers should accept it because they're going to want it too. And they're not going to want to spend it either. So I think it's all great technologies take a long time to penetrate society. It seems very fast, but Facebook is now 20 years old or something. Google is maybe 25, 27. 7 years old, something like that. So it takes a long time for something to permeate society. And the more resistant and discussive, I guess, a topic is, the bigger it gets. I notice in a lot of social environments where I am, they're all talking about Bitcoin because it's me. But even if I just drop in on conversations, Bitcoin is like one of the top 3 conversations going on. I'd say it's like Trump, and then maybe what's happening in the world, and then Bitcoin. And so what that means is they're all still like, oh, it's still somewhat controversial, which means that there's still a lot of room to run here. The day where everybody says, yeah, I've got Bitcoin and I, don't really want dollars anymore, that will be the day Bitcoin sort of comes to an equilibrium. I think the dollar is going extinct. And just the way the Sony Betamax went extinct and the buggy whip manufacturer went extinct, and they all got replaced by better technology. The bow and arrow, they don't use that anymore. So I think you are just going through another anthropological leap forward. And so Bitcoin's going to be a major force there.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Valhalla beckons. And so does Mining Disrupt 2025. This is going to be absolutely wild. The biggest Bitcoin mining conference and expo in the world is heading to Dallas, Texas, November 11th through the 13th. Dennis Porter, Samson Mao, Lawrence Lepard, Luke Dash Jr., Bitcoin Mechanic, and countless others are ready to send it. Mining Disrupt is where deals are made, innovations are unveiled, and the future is forged. If you're serious about mining, you can't afford to miss this one. Be there or be left behind. Grab those tickets today. And don't forget to come see Simply Bitcoin at the news desk. And don't forget to use promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp by sharing the Sound Money Gospel. And set those notifications for the best in Bitcoin news delivered to you daily. Hey, I love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.